Hello from the Hive tribe. We have entered this year and it's been an interesting time. I've had some health stuff going on, and Mary and I were talking just as we're coming on. There's also a lot going on in the world. Like, unless you're under a rock, under the ocean, under a volcano, maybe, you don't know about
Dissociated in far off land.
exactly. If you are lost with AI or with playing a game, then you may not be aware of what's going on. But we just wanted to open the field in acknowledgement that this is a very tumultuous time, that this is a very tender time. There are those who are losing their lives. There are those who are affected. There are those who are scared. There's literal terror in some parts of the world. And we don't want to just, smooth over that and just be like, okay, Hive Drive 2026, here we go, which we will get
Rainbows and
to.
sunshine, honeybees
Exactly.
and flowers. Yeah.
Exactly. Love and light. Uh,
No, we get real in here, guys.
Exactly. Actually, it's funny. Years ago, I had a woman, she told me, she said, you speak a lot about shadow. And I said, God said, let there be light. I was like, we were here first. So, again, we just want to start out this call and start out 2026. Actually, it's January 26, 2026. Just notice that. And come to you in this moment to acknowledge, to see, to be present, and to honor all who are affected, whether it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, psychically, however you are affected. We see you, we are with you. And we just wanted to take a moment of silence in honor of all that is going on in the world, all that have lost their lives, given their lives to what is happening in the world and the lens that needs to change, the world that needs to change. So we wanted to start off with a moment of silence. And as you gently come back to the present moment, putting one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly to become present with your own body and how your body and your nervous system has been affected, honoring that, honoring your body, giving thanks for it, for being here and for showing up with us today. And then just gently start to vibrate, gently start to shake that off. That is actually how the natural world, how they shift out of trauma is by the movement, the shaking it off. That's why we get stuck as humans. We freeze. But in the natural world, shaking it off, and we're not shaking it off in dishonor, we're shaking it off in transition. And
And
what was
strengthen our foundation.
exactly. And what was coming forward because we are with the Hive tribe and bees are our divine models. What I was thinking about is when the queen bee actually dies, what happens to the hive? They actually stop. They get super restless, so they feel all those emotions. Then they actually come together and start feeding and start creating for the next queen. So if we think about that in our world, in our lives, okay, pause, acknowledge what's going on, feel the emotions, feel the tremors, get it out of your body. And then how do we come together? And that's where the Hive tribe comes in. That's how we create a new foundation for us, for the world, and for what we want to actually see in the world.
Yes. I love that. And I also think about the frequencies with the vibration as well. When a hive is requeening, that frequency goes up. You can hear it.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool. The difference between a queen and a worker bee is simply like Leva had shared what they feed it. So when a queen does die, they ramble together and they come together and they take whatever fresh eggs are there and they start to create queen cells and feed it royal jelly. And it's really incredible, the community of the hive. I just it's the best community ever. And I just wanted to take a second and just say, in that honor of opening up that community space and that invitation to a new foundation for ourselves. Community is where I'll speak for myself, have found incredible strength, incredible camaraderie, and an incredible ability to be able to lean in. And so even in these hard times and when it is so natural to just want to like hide and sink in and isolate, there is a lot of power in being able to reach out and utilize our powers for that connectedness, because so much of us are feeling the same, so we're not alone in that. And it's just like was shared, right? This huge chaos comes, like, what's going to happen? There's disorder, and then immediately we come into the solution to come together for the whole. And that's what we're doing. It just gets to be that simple.
Yes, yes. And just circling back just to exclamation point that there's nothing special about the queen bee except her nourishment. So if you think about yourself, well, I'm not that special. I don't have like anything that I think I can do, or I'm not sure I can do it, or if, that theme of I'm not enough, any of those things. What if you actually take that off the table and just recognize it's just what you are nourished with that makes you and opens you to who you actually are? And that's where the foundation comes in. That's where the community comes in to nourish you, to nourish who you came here to be on this planet, to nourish what this world can be. So just by infusions of nourishment from the Hive tribe or your personal community or the various ways that you receive intentional nourishment to become, that is how you become the solution the world needs. And that is how you become all of you.
I love that.
You are what you eat. Come on. Oh.
And it gets to be such a practice and a curiosity. Oh my gosh, it does not have to be rigid. But no,
Yes.
there is just such a growth process in that. And you know, and where does that start? And so let's play with that. I can be in the same room and the matter of a light switch, right? Creating that lightness or darkness, and all of that difference for me, and it could be moment, right? Is that spiritual connection and that alignment for myself, that taking a breath, that stopping, and after I pray, sitting in that meditation for answers, moving in that spiritual alignment and that guidance, and taking those moments, and then from there I get to play and cultivate more. And really, that's part of that inner work and that connectedness that we get to pour from. And so I think that sometimes, even in these times where it gets challenging, I think some of the hardest things are to like really take those moments, you know? And the more that we lean into those practices and nourish ourselves and eat through the earth and attune through the seasons, we, like, as was just shared, but it's like we get to like come from this deep foundation of this inner knowing, and this understanding that really there's no other way to experience that or be able to pour from that in an honest space. So challenge accepted.
It's a practice. You don't just eat once, you don't just get nourished once. The continual infusion, the continual inflow of nourishment. And that's where you get to intentionally choose, what am I going to nourish myself with? Who am I going to nourish myself with? What are the things I'm listening to? What are all the things I'm ingesting? And that means what you're reading, who you're hanging out with, the games play, your social media, everything you're ingesting, whether it's through your mouth or through your eyes or through your environment. This is
Yeah.
exactly. You're creating a living practice of nourishing yourself. So, what if you start to curate it so that it is nourishing you with the highest ingredients? So, like in the Hive, that royal jelly. So, you can become that queen or king. I mean, there isn't a king bee, but you know, for
We'll practice it for y'all boys in here. We could
yes,
be perfect.
or them bee or whatever. It doesn't matter responsibilities. Like just bees. Like just if you're
We're going for our highest selves, our most nutriently foundational selves, right?
exactly, exactly. For you to put on that crown of who you came here to be, intentionally choosing your nourishment. So that's one of the reasons we created the Hive Tribe, is to have regular communion with you and regular nourishment and energy and tools to bring forward. And we also have a very exciting thing that we're
I
playing
know.
with.
I thought we were segueing into that spot naturally.
Exactly. So I'll let Mary share a little fun something that will nourish you personally and arrive to your home.
So one thing that I absolutely love, 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 love about beekeeping is getting to play with the harvested things and creating medicine. Oh my gosh, there are so many things in the hive that the bees create that have such medicinal properties. And so there's like propolis, which is the glue that they actually seal their hive in, but it's this deep, rich, well, it's bee glue, you know, but you could utilize it in different creams and things like that and tinctures. And it has a lot of antiseptic, antimicrobial, antibacterial properties in it. There's the beeswax, which also has similar properties. There's the honey. And, anyways, so what we are working on is creating a monthly medicine that we can or that we can do for a subscription, right? Like a subscription box that they do, but it's going to be healing through the hive from the hive tribe. It'll be my locally sort harvested stuff from my local hives. I have lavender and the hydrosol, all kinds of goodies for you. And we would use medicinal herbs, and it would be anything ranging from salves to tinctures, topicals, plasters. I mean, you name it. We're just going to be out the box with it and have a lot of fun and give back that teaching of how to create medicine through the earth at home. So,
Mm-hmm. And how to nourish yourself again as that intentional practice of communing with the earth, communing with the hives, and communing with the hive tribe because we're cool.
heck yeah. I also want to throw in there though, I will like what I like to do too is share from a Chinese medicinal perspective, like the properties of the herbs that would be utilized and different ways to utilize them in healing modalities. Because there's like topical, as I said, there's things that you can ingest, there's salves, there's glycerin tinctures, there's alcohol tinctures, there's all kinds of stuff. So it really gets to be an educational process of attuning through the earth on an herbal realm. And then also, I love food, so we'll share recipes with that as well for every month because the more that we take care of ourselves in these seasons, it really predicts what's going to go on in the next season. So if we're getting ill now, it's because, hey, in the fall, something happened and attacked our system and is now presenting itself here. So, really, each season that we build up our immunity and our strength and our nourishment, we're setting ourselves up for the next season. And so, just pay attention to those patterns in your bodies because we really we have an opportunity of being and changing our awareness and getting to get curious and healing ourselves. So if you're one of those people who spends their winter and you get a cold and then your cold lasts for this really long time and now you've got a cold for 3 weeks and you're always somebody who gets bronchitis and pneumonia or you're on these inhalers and things, you know, and you notice these patterns, we can really start to make a huge difference in our world utilizing herbs and food and attuning into our season. It's such an empowering and natural way. And I'm just so excited to bring it to you. I just like my little kids coming out. So I'm excited. It's like making mud pies.
Or you can move somewhere like Costa Rica where there is no winter.
Or you could do that.
Just saying.
No, but I'm gonna say I do love the Costa Rica 85. I'm looking forward to our next retreat, right? But also, we just bought cross country skis as a family, and when it's been a pretty dry winter, unfortunately, but when it does snow, we're gonna go up to Winoga and take our dog out and go cross country skiing. I mean, snow can be so much fun. It can be. So you just gotta make it that way.
I mean, I grew up in the snow belt and I have for a couple decades now said I like my snow on a postcard. So.
You know what? Yes. It is different. I stopped wearing boots this year. because I had back pain when I moved here, and I was like, "What the heck? I feel old." Da, 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 da. And I started noticing it would start getting really bad during winter, and I'm wearing these huge old nasty boots. So I got like low gravity warm shoes, and I'm telling you, it's been great the last couple years. So if you wanted that little fun fact for the snow seasons, people.
Take a picture.
You're like, I like my flip flops and sundress. I do too. I'll be there soon.
Yes, yes. So, is there anything else that you wanted to say before we say ciao ciao?
Oh, I appreciate everybody that has already supported and reached out in our community. It's been really fun. I even woke up, oops, I poked myself in the eye, but I woke up this morning to a message from a woman, and it was just like, it literally fills my whole heart. So I really appreciate it. And we love having you guys reach out and everything. We do have a lot of people reaching out about Bee Scouts and our online community as well. So if that's something that you are interested in further, go ahead and reach out. We would love to have you added to the community. We've got our January attuning and our beekeeping classes and everything up there. And so we're working on February, and we're just really excited to have you guys. So other than that, I'm just thank you for tuning in and being a part of. Thank you for sharing your heart and for continuing to do that inner work that is so needed in this world. I honor you and where you're at. And again, just I appreciate you being here and checking it.
Yes, yes. And I think Mary covered that, so I will just say we love you and we love coming to you in the hive, and we look forward to seeing you, whether it's in Bee Scouts or in your mailbox with the bee kits or on video. We will see you next time.
Don't forget to subscribe.